Hi, everybody. I'm very honoured for you to be here today, and I'd like to introduce you to SallyGray. And she is from Real Healthy Kids. So, welcome, Sally, to Victoria's Place Online.
Hi Victoria, I'm really delighted to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, it's very exciting. We are going to be talking about things that Sally and I are going to be doing next year, and also what we're going to be doing to help empower women to step into their light and step into their power. Sometimes we feel that we get waylaid by motherhood, or we feel we get waylaid by our life or our work, and we're just really not quite sure where we fit in anymore. And Sally and I are going to get together in 2016 and really try and help women step back into their power. So this isn't about me, so I'll stop yabbering. If you'd like to introduce yourself, Sally, that'd be good.
Great, thanks Victoria. I'm Sally Gray from Real Healthy Kids, and I'm really passionate about supporting families to achieve the very best of health for themselves and their children. And I know that this is something that we can do with a few skills, with some tools that we're not shown how to embrace and step into the most important job of our lives, which is parenting.
Absolutely.
We really miss out on such wonderful opportunities to be the very best we can be because we just don't know how to. And so many of us struggle. And so I help families with nutrition and lifestyle practices to restore the best of health and achieve optimal health, which obviously translates into optimal happiness as well. So we can really connect that mind and body, the connection that is meant to be there, and achieve a level of peace and joy on a daily basis. And that doesn't mean that we don't feel the pain that life sometimes throws at us, but we can approach the difficulties that are inherent in our world with grace, with a sense of, I can do this. And
Absolutely.
empower our children as well to learn the life skills, starting with the right food, but also some emotional well-being strategies that will set them up for extraordinary lives.
And if you've been following anything that I've been doing recently, you can see why Sally and I are connecting and really wanting to bring both of our knowledge together, because we're just so passionate about helping people just become the best that they can be, and starting with themselves so then they can be the best that they can be for their families.
I think that's really key actually, Victoria, is as mums we tend to put ourselves somewhere towards the end of the list when it comes to prioritising. And the reality is we're the captains of the ship most of the time.
Yes.
And if things aren't good for our bodies and our minds, what kind of role model, parent, wife, business person
Friends,
can we possibly be? We're doing the hardest job with no game plan, essentially.
Absolutely.
And no real tools to empower ourselves to achieve what we want to achieve. And whether that is just peace or whether it is a multi-million-dollar business that you want to run. We need to have some basic tools and understanding. So I work very closely with families now to get that fundamental health and nutrition connected with the mind, emotional well-being strategies that are absolutely fundamental. And when those two pieces of the puzzle come together, the results are extraordinary.
And long lasting.
This is where my passion lies.
And long lasting, not just a quick fix. Absolutely long lasting over their whole entire lives. And once you bring that into your life, oh, I've got goosebumps, so passionate about this. Once we bring that into our lives, then everyone else around us sees what's happening, and they want a piece of that peacefulness and calm, and they want to know that secret that you have, and it, you've got that smile on your face, that inner glow, and it's so recognizable when you're actually on that right path and you're on that right journey.
Absolutely. And the skills can be learned. That's the coolest part. These are basic skills we're talking about that are skills that last and endure for an entire lifetime. So we can make some very quick changes, learn some very useful steps, and reap the rewards very, very quickly.
And I wish I'd known this.
mums need to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
I
wish
use
I'd
a
known
range of
this ages
planning
ago.
tools really to
Mm,
start the ball rolling, and then a few other emotional well-being strategies that just couldn't be more simple. And within a very short space of time, your life can be turned around.
mm,
Now, I'm
mm,
not suggesting that we all have to be in crisis point to want to achieve this. We can be better than we are at any point in time, wherever we're at.
mm,
And
mm,
being proactive and taking the action,
mm,
which is key in this process, isn't it? Is taking action, because it's all very well to talk about it, to
mm,
read about it, to think about it, to
mm.
want it,
Yeah.
but moving into that space of this is what I'm doing
Yes. Yep.
with some strategies that are absolutely proven. I
Yep.
mean, we're not recreating the wheel here. We're taking the lessons from the most successful businesses and people in the world and applying them to what is the most important job in the world,
Yes.
that of
Yes.
achieving personal fulfillment and creating children who are going to be valuable members of our society.
Yep. Yep.
Does it
Absolutely.
get more important than that? I don't think so.
Absolutely. And I just think that, we're helping someone who may be a doctor eventually, who may be a person that helps the disabled people, who may be, a person that stands at Coles and helps us with our groceries and has a smile on their face. There's so many facets to where all of these journeys and learning lessons can go to. We can't actually see that, but we know how important they can be. And
Oh,
these
absolutely.
techniques have been around for thousands and thousands of years. They are absolutely proven, and now science has finally caught up and
Yes.
recognized how important the mindfulness and the nutrition is for our brain and our mental wealth and our mental well-being. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. So, it is a very different life that can be lived when you're
Mm,
living not from your pain,
mm,
not from your personal baggage. And I know that we can teach our kids strategies so that they aren't then carrying with them the perceptions and experiences that they have lived, the beliefs, the dodgy beliefs and understandings that have been created. We can turn this around for our kids
mm,
and help them learn the strategies and tools, which is
mm,
all that it is. So, as a trainer recognised by the Jack Canfield Trainers Association,
mm.
I've got this whole bag of really cool
Mm,
tools
yeah, yeah. And I say that
that
it's
we can
it's a
learn.
toolkit, isn't it? You
Pardon?
just you That's what I say all the time. It's a toolkit, and we can give you those little bits of tools. You can put the tools in your toolkit, and then, if stress does happen, which it does, we can't control that stuff in our lives. We can just control how we react to it. But we can choose which tool is appropriate for that time and pick
Sure.
that out and use that, and then that stress doesn't actually manifest into an illness or a disease inside of our bodies, and we can deal with it. We can cope with things so much easier. Yeah,
Absolutely. Much,
yeah,
much easier. And what I really love about this is, as as mums, we deserve this.
yes, we do.
We do, and we can nurture ourselves, our bodies, and our minds.
Mm,
And then from that space, we can teach our children
yes,
and
absolutely.
be the role models that they need us to be. This is a really harsh world these days,
Yeah.
and our kids are exposed to all sorts of stress. So it's no wonder that disease of a physical kind and an emotional, mental kind is increasing exponentially.
And getting younger and younger, the statistics these days of anxiety in children, even under 8 years old, is just outstanding. And
It is.
it's terrible to see. It really
It's
is.
certainly, yeah, it's certainly been an ever-growing feature of my clinical practice over the last couple of years,
Mm,
and where it never was. So anxiety,
mm,
depression, all sorts of anxiety kinds of issues, including OCD.
mm,
There's such a huge part of what I see in my clinic,
mm,
and nutrition obviously is fundamental
mm.
to our health.
Yes. Yep.
But so is understanding our emotional world and the connection between our minds
Hmm.
and our physical well-being. And
Mm.
stress is the trump card.
It really is.
But the very, very exciting news is that we can profoundly impact the impact of stress. We can
Hmm.
improve our stress handling capacity
That's right. How we react
enormously.
to it. Yeah, yep. And
And
I
our children
remember
really need this.
they really do. Yeah. And how we react, they'll see it as much as we actually tell them, how to do this, how to do that. If we're not actually doing it ourselves, they're not going to take that in. We really need to model these practices.
Yeah, it's really lovely to think that we can just tell our kids what to do and they'll do it, but children learn what they live,
Mm.
not what they hear us trying to tell them. They're much, much smarter than that. We can't really pull
Yes.
the wool over their eyes.
No, they're very, very clever.
And they're perceptive, they pick up everything, as you would know, that
Hmm.
goes on,
Yep,
whether it is verbalized or not.
that's right. Yeah, my
We have
kids
far
sit.
more energy than we are matter, and we pick up on
Oh yeah,
the energy that is emotions.
yeah. The other day, the kids said, "Mum, we can tell if you're angry or if you're sad by the way you drive your car." And I thought, really? They're just like, I'm not even saying anything, and they were sitting in the back chatting about it together and saying the different emotions that they thought I was going through when I was driving the car and how I was breathing. Actually, it was really interesting to listen to them. So it's
Yeah,
it's just it's really, we don't even know how we're reacting to the stresses in our lives, even if we think we are withholding it from our children and we're holding it in for the sake of them. They're seeing it anyway. They're picking up on
exactly.
it anyway in the little things that we do on a daily basis. And so we really need to just step back and think what's going on inside of us. And I
Yes.
remember when I was really, really stressed, the doctor would just say, well, stop being stressed. And it's like, well, how do you stop being stressed? I don't know. I'm a passionate, emotive person. How do I stop being stressed? And I really wish that, we had this type of conversations and I knew that there were people out there to help me. Just give me really simple, basic, proven scientific ideas to say, just do this. And I think that's what we can really give our people that we see.
Oh, absolutely. So
Mm,
it's about just following a format
yeah.
in some ways. Follow a routine, a proven routine. Follow some systems.
Mm,
Get your life organized in some ways,
yes.
and then you have the freedom to feel the peace and bliss that you've just put the effort into creating
Yes. Yes. And
and
it does
live
give
from
you
a
a
really
lot more
different
time.
space. And the point is these can be learnt so quickly.
Yes, that's
So
right. Yep.
it's really exciting to know that this is the direction that we're taking together.
It is actually. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So our time is coming to an end, but I'd just like to say thank you so much for spending Monday morning with me. I really appreciate it, and I know we could talk for hours and hours, and we will. We'll come and speak to people. We'll do some workshops and tours and things. So keep an eye out. We've got probably too much knowledge to share. We have to just squish it down into little compartments, which we will. But if people would like to get in touch with you, Sally, how do they get in touch with you?
I have a website, realhealthykids.com. I also have the Real Healthy Kids home on Facebook. And if your listeners are interested, I'm actually going to be posting a meal planning guide, which is one of the most fundamental practices that we could engage in. And so many people think, oh, well, that's not going to help me. That's so simple. This can change your life
Yep.
if you get this nailed. So this will be coming out today.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Cool.
So you can sign up to my newsletter also on my website, which is a great way of getting really, really useful information to support family health. But importantly, my passion is kids because
Yep.
these little people deserve the very best
They do.
and are our future.
That's right. Yes, absolutely. All right.
So it's been my pleasure. Thank you very much for this chat this morning.
My pleasure. Yes. So keep in touch, and you'll see lots of things coming up with the both of us. Okay. Have a
Fantastic.
lovely day, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Victoria.